everybody doing today? Today, I have these fifth card affirmation cards. You guys ever seen this before? Affirmators. Pretty interesting. So why not? Why not put out some good vibes this morning? Put out some positivity. Always good to do that every once in a while when you can. So I'm going to go through these cards and you know pick them out randomly. And these are going to be your affirmations for this morning. And I hope you find these words uplifting. I hope you enjoy the messages. I hope you receive the messages. I hope you take it in. And I hope it uplifts you. So, got these cards. They got little unicorns with a rabbit riding it, and a rainbow, some stars. So let's shuffle through here. Let's see what affirmation card we pull out. What's up, Krishna? I got these affirmation cards. I'm going to go through them, put out some positive energy. I'm going to pull one out at random. Who, dude? Let's see. Let me pull this one out at random. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says, shall we? Let's take a look here. I'm going to move this here like so. Ideal partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I am paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. That's a pretty nice little positive thing. That was random. I pulled that one out at random. So we're going to keep going. Shuffle some cards here. And do I sound okay? I didn't, I used the microphone last night and I didn't give it enough time to charge. So how you doing, Krishna? You having a good day? You've had a good day so far? I haven't done a morning live in a while. So let's pull out oh, this one seems to want to pop out. What's that? I'm going to show you this card here in a second. I'm going to put it down and then I'm going to flip the camera over so you can see what I'm looking at. Connection. Cool. Glad to hear it, Krishna. Connection. I'm connected to the multitudes and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. Note to self, work on witty banter about weather-related stuff. How funny. Speaking of weather, it's actually, I was supposed to get ready to go film a little music video. It's going to be the last scene of the video out in the lake, but looks like it's going to be really bad weather. So, all right, if you're joining me, you're joining me at the most perfect time because we're going to give you some positive affirmations here, some positive thinking. Pull these cards at random. It's kind of fun. Let's see which one. Oh, this one seems to want to pop out. Place it here. I got this card here that wanted to pop out. Gratitude. Gratitude. Nice. I'm going to put this down and I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so we can see what we're dealing with here. Gratitude. Today I'm grateful for all the little things, even when the big things suck. There are always plenty of little things I can be at least a little grateful for, like hot showers and music and the fact that humans invented an internet, and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, using fingers and thumbs that do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Things to be grateful for. It's pretty cool. All right, let's continue. Let's see what other cards we have here that will give us a positive outlook. Sometimes we need a little bit of positivity in our lives, and it's not a bad idea to put some positive energy out there. There's one thing I can do that is a little helpful for people out there is to put out some positive energy. This card wanted to come out. Ooh, worthiness. I'm going to place it down. I'm going to flip the camera over so we can see. Worthiness. I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it. And damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of something else. And then I'll run away very quickly. Pretty funny. Yeah, sometimes we don't tend to feel worthy sometimes. And that's all in our heads, really, and so we got to get that thinking out of our heads. Stay positive. Sometimes things get hard, but that's just how it goes. We got to be the constant gardeners of our mind. We always have to switch out those negative thoughts for some positive thoughts, and that's gonna. Oh, this card wanted to come out. Let's see here. Playfulness. Playfulness. I'm going to put it down here. Flip the camera over. Playfulness. I am playful. I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something fun, something a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins puts sugar in the medicine for a reason. That lady really knows how to party. Very nice. Yeah, very true, Krishna. We have to clean out our minds every now and then. Even from different things. Even from different things. Like that's a pretty good one, huh? The playfulness one. Mary Poppins. We got to cleanse our minds. Keep it as pure as we can. Sometimes even stay away from lustful thoughts. Because that can get us down a bad road sometimes if we're not careful. Just gonna shuffle these cards and let's see what card wants to pop out for us today. Or that could be it for today. I don't know. So far, no card wants to pop out. This one's kind of sticking out. Let me see. Got a card here. It says Wonder. I'm going to place it down and flip the camera over. What do you got here? Wonder. It's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. And when I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better theater. When something delightful happens, I can shout, Encore! And be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I'm glad I got a ticket to the show. Eh, pretty good there. Pretty interesting. We're gonna go through all these cards really, just kind of one by one, and kind of do a little card shuffle here to see which one. Oh, this one wanted to pop out. What do we have here? Beauty. 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 I'll stick it down here, flip the camera over. Beauty. I'm beautiful even when I don't think it. I'm beautiful even when I don't see it. I'm beautiful no matter how many people don't say it. I'm beautiful and I don't even care if you know it. I'm beautiful, which is why I don't have to try so hard all the time to show it. Look at that. Beauty. Sometimes we got to remind ourselves that, we're just a beautiful person. There's nothing wrong with that. Keep shuffling here. Oh, this one. No, let's keep shuffling. See what cards come out. Let's see what positive message we have. We'll just keep going here with the positive. This one wants to come out. Hey, look at this one. This one is forgiveness. Forgiveness. So let me put it down and we'll do a little camera flip. Forgiveness. Congratulations, you are being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that you can apply it to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Look at that. Sometimes, they say that it shows a lot of great wisdom in someone when when they're harmed, and instead of acting in anger or revenge, they take a step back and they forgive the person that harmed them. They say there's a lot of wisdom in that. And it's not easy to do sometimes. It's not easy to do. Our emotions take us over. Sometimes we let anger, it feels justified, and we want to do things to hurt back. But then the cycle continues, right? Hurt people, And so to end those cycles of hurting one another, you stand in your peace, you stand in your wisdom, and you find it in your heart to forgive the person that harmed you. Not an easy thing to do. I know, I get it. Not an easy thing to do. Let's see what positive card comes out. You don't have beautiful girl. Just kidding, says Krishna. One day, Krishna. One day. One day, Krishna. See what card wants to come out. See what card wants to come out and play this morning. I don't know. I always see people. Oh, this one wants to come out. Oh, we got two. Let's do both. Let's do both. And we'll do this one first. We got love. So let me put that card down. We'll flip the camera over. Love is a many splendored thing. Today I will notice and appreciate at least three of those splendors, like the fact that puppies make me feel like a parent, or the surge of self congratulation I feel when I sink a 3-point trash basket shot on the first try, or how about the chills I get while singing along to name of song, the one. That's funny. Yeah. Okay, that was interesting. Not my favorite card. I feel like that one could have been better, but it's yeah. Love is a many splendored thing. Today I will notice and appreciate at least three of those splendors. What are three splendors in your life that you notice and appreciate in your life? The other card that came out is manifestation. Ooh, manifestation. Well, Krishna, love is a magical thing. Love is goodness. Love is selfless. Love is understanding. Love is patience. Love is giving. Love is a lot of things. And it's a lot of things for many different people. Love is caring for others. There's such a thing as self-love, caring for yourself. You know what I'm saying, Krishna? Uh, love can create families. You can find somebody one day and a partner, and if that partner truly loves you, they're going to care for you, and you're going to care for them back. But it's not an easy thing to find, you know. Here we go, talking about manifestation. You can manifest love into your life. If you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? get specific, and get greedy. You are holding a magic wand, and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have that the means to help you make them happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. That's funny. Yeah, you can find love with friends. There's you can find it in animals. You know, you can find. I have a pet. I have a dog and a cat. And I love them very much. And I can tell that they love me back. How they 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 like the little things. My little dog, the way she sleeps on my bed next to me, the way she gets happy when she sees me. I take good care of my dog and my cat. So they both love me. My cat does the same thing. My cat will come over and sleep on my bed. My cat will, get happy and excited when I'm around and she sees me and does the whole purring thing. Well, I don't have a lot of friends either, Krishna. I have you know, my good buddy Rudy, my good buddy Jake, and a few acquaintances that I work with. I mean, I could call them friends, but honestly, I don't. They're not like super close. They're just people that do things with, and I work with them and whatnot. But like my closest friends are they're like three at the most. You know. But a friend is kind of like Will Rogers said. Everybody he met was a friend. Something like that. You can have that attitude in life where you treat everybody like a friend. And that's how you make friends, actually. If you start treating people like a friend, that's how you make friends. That's the secret. If you just decide one day, hey, this is going to be my friend, and you start treating him like a friend, then you got yourself a friend. Sometimes we do that. It's all in our heads. Like we look around people and we kind of make little judgments that we think that they're not good enough to be our friends, or even worse, we think that we're not good enough to be friends with that person. you know but it's not about using them. Don't ever make a friend to use them. Make a friend because it brings joy to life. If you have common passions in something, it's easy to relate. It's easy to relate to somebody. Let's see what card shows up here. Let's see what card wants to pop out and play. Oh, this one does. Clarity. This one is called Clarity. Let me flip the camera over so we can get a better look at this and we can read it together. Clarity. Stopping to listen to my inner self, I can easily separate my intuition from my mental chatter. The clarity of my intuition is a sweet, simple fruit that tastes familiar, and the mental chatter is a confusing, bitter rind that I shall peel off and chuck into the garbage or compost heap if your mental chatter happens to be organic. That's funny. That's pretty funny. So yeah, I agree. Clarity. You throw away all the negative, confusing chatter in your mind. Sometimes people meditate. They take time to meditate. What they do is they focus on their breathing in and out, counting, and that's how they're able to, if their head is going crazy with thoughts and anxiety and whatnot, nervousness, or even just feeling bad about yourself, the best way to get away and get clarity is to do a little bit of uh, what I just said. Um, Going out and you meditate. You meditate. You focus on your breathing. You focus on clearing your mind, which is not easy to do. Clearing your mind. Some people can't do it. They can't slow their mind down. But it's a must. It's a must if you truly want peace. If you truly want clarity. Oh, this card wants to come out. Let's see what card we got going on here. Oh, look at that. Get centered. Just as we talk about it, get centered. And I'll flip the camera over so we can read it together. Get centered. Really important. When it gets to be too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of a favorite animal. Mine, I guess let's just say elephant, holding a magical item, we'll say a wand, floating through space on a couch. So let's do that again with all the things I just read. When it gets too much, whatever it is, I close my eyes and return to my center. In my center, I have the wisdom and tranquility of an elephant holding a magical wand floating through space on a couch. Get centered. Isn't that funny? So I don't know, let's just keep going. We may not do all of them today, but let's just keep going. Maybe for a full hour. Let's see how many cards we can get through in an hour. Oh, this one wants to pop out already. Friendliness. Friendliness. We're just talking about that. Friendliness. Look at this alligator. Does he look friendly to you? Looks pretty friendly, even though he's an alligator. Let's see what we got here. Let's flip the camera over. Whenever I smile, I make someone's day better. What a cool way to buy happiness for free. Today, I will remember what an awesome power I hold, and I'll take joy in improving lives simply by giving away grins like crazy. Note, in a pinch, money will also work. That's funny. That's funny. These cards are funny. Um, let's see what else we got going on. Welcome to the channel. If you're brand new, we're doing some positive messaging today. We got these cards. These they're called what are they called? Affirmators. Comes in this box. Affirmators. So pretty interesting. I've had them for a while actually. And they actually belong to a friend who ended up moving, and I guess they left this box behind, and I just kind of kept it, and they just forgot about it. So let's do a little card shuffle here and see what cards come out and want to play with us. Let's see what card. Oh, here's one that wants to come out. Ooh, options. Like a big thing of ice cream. All right, let's put the card down. Do a little flippity flip. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like, you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. Ooh, that sounds pretty yummy, actually. Baked potato with mac and cheese. Let's see what we got else. Don't count you in as a friend because you are my brother. Ah, thanks, Krishna. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're my brother in India. I'll be here for you whenever you need me. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I need to chit chat, I'm not always 100%, so it's good to chit chat. But I feel like lately you've been doing pretty well, except for that one little moment where you felt like quitting. But it happens, man. It happens to me. Sometimes I want to quit things because I'm just overwhelmed by stuff. It gets too hard. But the true trick is to keep going, keep learning, keep growing, you know, keep getting, practice what you want to do, get better. So let me this card wants to come out. Engagement. This one says engagement. There's like a fish and an octopus having a picnic. I'm gonna put the card down. I'm gonna flip the camera over so we can read it together. Engagement. Today I make the conscious choice to engage with the world in an active way. I'll take a new route and talk to strangers. I will smell flowers and pet dogs and maybe walk around barefoot for a while if I'm not inside a 7-Eleven. At the very least, I'll have a day that's slightly more interesting than average. And at the most, I'll have a startling epiphany or make a friend who will change my life forever. No pressure. Look at that. No pressure. What's up, my own street light? You know what I'm doing today, this morning, my own street light? I'm going over like some positive affirmations. We've actually done quite a bit of them already, but we still have lots of them here. So thought I'd do a little something different this morning. I'm always looking to do something a little different. I've been doing movie reviews. I did one on The Marksman, Frankenstein, Doctor Sleep, and The Outfit. So pretty good. But yeah, why not put a little positivity out there? Look at that, Krishna. You already got a nickname. Look at that, K Dog. That's your new nickname, Krishna. You've been christened K Dog. It's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me from the movie Vacation. There's a part where anyways, if you haven't seen the Vacation, the new Vacation movie with that one actor from The Office, hilarious, worth watching. All right, let's pull out a card here, do a little shuffling. I've seen people do this online where they shuffle. Oh, that one comes out. This one popped out. They shuffle cards and they pick out cards. Kind of a fun game to do. Let's see what this says. Letting go. Letting go. Letting go. There's a what is that? A camel? He's just dropping things as he walks. Well, Krishna, it's like it's a good nickname. K Dog is like, yo, what up, dog? Like, I don't know. It's kind of an American thing, I guess. But yeah, it's true. Dog is man's best friend. Letting go. I don't dwell on bad things that happened. I let things go because I have enough heavy things to carry around. And also, grudges aren't a great look. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Yeah, grudges can weigh us down, huh? We hold on to grudges because we feel justified in our grudge. But the honest truth is, the longer we hold on to it, seems like the heavier it gets, doesn't it? And it starts to interfere with our lives. It starts to interfere with the flow of life, you know? Things start to slow down. Things we want are suddenly not coming true. So yeah, best to let go. Best to forgive and let go and be at peace and feel light in life rather than carrying lots of heavy burdens like a sack of potatoes. Can you imagine holding on to grudges like a sack of potatoes and walking around with sacks of potatoes all the time? It starts to get heavy after a while, doesn't it? Oop, I got a good morning text from my friend in California. Crystal's a really good person. She was struggling with a lot of things. Oh, another text from her. She said she had the weirdest dream. But yeah, she's struggled with alcohol and some other stuff. I don't want to get too personal because, we don't want to talk about other people. But I'm really proud of her because she's literally turned her life around. She doesn't drink anymore. She has a decent job. She's getting out of the hole she's in. She's been very positive and just working on herself. And that's powerful. You know, that's powerful. We do have the willpower to turn things around in our lives. It takes dedication. It takes changing, like allowing yourself to cut things out that you don't need anymore. Let's do this card. Confidence. Confidence, confidence, confidence. What is that, a fridge? All right, let's place the camera over it and turn it over so we can read it together. Confidence. In this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, "Look at that. Can you believe what an A plus that is?" Pretty funny. Yeah, Krishna, what are you saying, man? What are you saying? You love French fries? I'm missing all these comments. Dude, I fucking love French fries. I like the ziggy zaggy ones. They're like a bit thicker, but they have to be like cooked really well, but not too crispy. Love French fries. What about, are you talking about marriage? Like what, like getting married to somebody, Krishna? What about marrying? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, yeah. A dog is a man's best friend, but when it comes to marriage and your wife, yeah, your wife is your best friend, essentially. Should be, you know. I think a lot of people make some mistakes marrying the wrong person, and it happens. Maybe we don't know the person well enough, or something happens, they cheat, so it ends up in divorce. But ideally, the most ideal thing is to find a partner that is loyal and cares for you, and you return the favor. And not just that, but like, you know, there's things you can do with a wife you can't do with a dog unless you're a psychopath. So yes, Krishna, your wife should be your best friend. But as far as a pal goes, like a pal, your dog is always going to be by your side. Your dog is the most loyal animal there is. A dog is like kind of like a child in a lot of ways. You got to take care of it, you know. And I say that from experience. Like I love my dog. I absolutely love my dog, my cat. I take care of them. I get a sense of joy and pride knowing that I'm responsible and taking care of them, and making sure they're happy. Little animals. Let's see what card wants to come out. I'm just shuffling. This card wants to come out and play. Self-love. 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 Looks like he's wearing a shirt. You are the best. No, you are. All right, let's place it down here so we can flip the camera and we can read the message together. Self-love. I openly embrace a feeling of self-love, the PG kind. I love myself because I understand myself. I love myself as the most committed partner I will ever have. I show myself love any way that I can, and when I screw up, I remember to be sweet and gentle with myself. If not, I'm going to make myself sleep on the couch. Got that, self? That's funny. So yeah, self-care, self-love. You have to be in a lot of ways your own teacher sometimes. You got to show patience to yourself. Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes we agitate others and they get agitated towards us. We just got to realize no one's perfect. We're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. That's okay. It's better to just accept that we've made mistakes instead of sometimes we what do you want what's the how do you say it, we kind of beat ourselves down sometimes, and life is hard enough. We don't need to beat ourselves down. Life already does that for us. We don't have to go the extra mile and make things worse for us by, beating yourself down when something happens. It's better just to try to learn, see if there's a lesson in there for you to learn, to grow, and just keep moving forward. And don't slip into negativity. you know Something bad happens, okay, well, try to learn from it, but like I said, don't beat yourself up. The world's already doing that for you. So you don't need to do extra. Krishna's looking around for a female companion. He's looking around, he's open. Hey, I appreciate it. Sometimes I surprise myself with the things I say. I'm like, did I just say that? That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. This card wants to come out and play. Gentleness. Gentleness. Got a little cloud there saying hello. All right, let's flip the camera, read it together. Gentleness. I speak with gentleness and I listen with gentleness. I align with the gentlest part of myself and I take joy in being receptive, open, and unafraid. I'm like a baby deer who's best friends with a baby elephant. The baby elephant wraps its little trunk around my shoulders, and we lie down gently on the grass, daydreaming and talking about what sorts of humans the clouds look like. That's really funny. Yeah, you got any advice for K Dog? For the big K Dog? Krishna, the man? Any advice? You got any advice for him? Let him hear it. Let's see what going through these cards. I'm gonna do about an hour live. We're like 37 minutes in right now, so you got a good 20, what, 23 minutes to go. I mean, we might get through all these cards. Any cards popping out? Any cards? Oop, this one flew right out. Got to pick it up from the ground. Strength. There's a good one. Strength. All right, I'm gonna put it down. Yeah, there you go, Krishna. There you go. You gotta understand that women, they want somebody, a partner that can help them bring security and a stable life, and a job is like big. You want a woman in your life, well, they want a man that can provide, and that's a big one. That's a hard reality to look at. Otherwise, you're just going to have female friends. They're not going to look at you as a real suitor. But if you have a decent job, if you can get yourself a job, which is not easy sometimes, not easy, but you got to look for a job that's going to be decent. Go to college, invest your time. Don't invest your time in arts. Invest your time in a skill, something that, when you actually look at the, what do they call it? The jobs that are needed, that, like, you look into it and it says, well, these are the jobs coming in the future. We need men who have these skills. Well, if you put in the time and you learn those skills, you're going to be wanted. So my dad, he got into computer programming when he was in college and stuff like that, and that provided a future for him. That provided the job needed for him to, get a family and do the whole thing. So a job is essential. That's a really good point. My own street light. Probably the simplest, best advice you can give somebody about that. Here we go. Strength. You are hereby declared a strong, resilient warrior of heroic proportions. Enjoy your battles, whatever they are, because you're guaranteed to come through them stronger, brighter, and more compassionate. And based on what I know of my mythology, probably with great hair and a six pack. That helps too, that helps too. Looking for a lady, if you work out and you're all in really good shape, well, the ladies will be attracted to that. They're attracted to strength, they're attracted to security, they're attracted to personality, you know. They're attracted to how you make them feel. There's a lot of things at play. Women want to be appreciated. They want to know that you see them, see them from the rest of the crowd. They want to know why you think they're special, what makes them so special to you. They want to know these things. They want to be reminded. There's a whole thing to this. Hey, I've dated, it didn't work out, this and that. I have my experiences, and it all comes down to I just didn't have a good job. I didn't have a really good, decent job to be a provider. But I'm gonna change that one day before I turn 80. I just turned 39, November 16th. So maybe a little bit of maturity goes a long way. Sometimes some of us mature a little slower than others. But it also depends. A lot of guys don't want a family, don't want to settle down. They just do the whole dating for fun, and that's okay too. There's some women out there that's all they want to do is date for fun, but it never leads to anything serious, and then it ends up breaking up and whatnot, and so and so. But if that's the thing you want to do, if you want to date for fun, that's an option. You don't have to settle down. You don't have to create a family. There's no rule that says you absolutely got to go do that. But at the same time, I guess the Bible does say go out and create family and whatnot. But like I said, you're not breaking any laws by not creating a family. You're not going to go to jail. You don't want kids, Krishna? Well, then, date for fun. You'll find most women just want to date for fun, you know? But then you get yourself in like triangles, and like they're going to be dating other men, and I'm not. I don't like that. So I don't date for fun. I date for looking for the right person, and sometimes it doesn't work out. It hasn't worked out because I haven't found the right person yet, and that's okay. I'll keep dating until I do. And it like turns out the woman I'm dating is like, they don't want to get serious. Well, then we break up because that's what I want. Plus, you can always get a robot. These days, Krishna, by the time you're an adult, we'll have robots. That's an option, I guess. I wouldn't do it myself, but yeah, there's an option there for you. Sanctuary. Sanctuary. Let's see what this card's all about. Let me flip the camera. What's your plan B, Krishna? Let's hear it out while I read this card. Good for you. It seems you've earned some time away from the chaos of life. It could be as small as a bubble bath or as big as a trip. Or maybe it's a small trip to a big bubble bath. That's funny. Or a normal sized trip to a tiny bubble bath. Or maybe you tripped and fell in someone's bath. Whatever it is, it's waiting for you with open arms. Just pick your favorite sanctuary and unplug for a bit, especially if a bath is involved. That's funny. That was the funniest one. So sanctuary. We all need our space, to get away from the chaos, every once in a while. And I do. This is my trailer is my sanctuary. It's the place where I do YouTube. It's the place where I can get away from, my family if they're driving me nuts, or, I need my space. We all need our space. So it's good to have our space. I have my garden. I literally call it my sanctuary. I really do. It's my sanctuary of peace. When things are going wrong, I'm getting frustrated, I get away from the world and I stay in my sanctuary. I like to be around the garden, around nature, and just be at peace, you know. That's a good idea. That'd be fun. Travel around the world. You got to get a decent job that'll allow you to do that, um, and whatnot. Some people do. What do they do? I don't know. Oh, this card wants to come out. They do like photography or something, or blogging, or I don't know. I don't know what jobs they have that allows them to travel. But you know, if you look around, you might be able to find a good one that allows you to travel. Peacefulness. Peacefulness. Little heart-shaped wagon. Interesting. Peacefulness. I'm going to put this card down, flip the camera so we can read it together. I have a peaceful, tranquil, and untroubled heart. This is where I choose to spend my time. I can bring guests, but any person, thought, or event that brings drama or chaos is not invited. My heart is a special property, and I'm going to keep it that way so we can all keep enjoying it and I can get my security deposit back. That's funny. Yeah, speaking of peace, peacefulness, protect your heart. You know, I've had my heart broken several times in life, and it is it is a thing. I mean, you get depressed. Next thing you know, you're not focusing on the things you need to do. You know, you just it hurts. It hurts. It's a real pain. It's a different kind of pain, and it just derails you from your life. You know, you can spend people spend a lifetime depressed from heartaches, and it's not easy to get over. But time does heal, and that's why lately, if I date somebody and it doesn't work out, I don't necessarily get my heart broken anymore. But because I'm a little more guarded, I don't fall in love that easy. You know, I guess I used to fall in love pretty easily uh, early on in life. Very immature thing to do, I guess. But you know, now as an adult, I don't fall in love that easy. You know, and if it doesn't work out, I'm not going to be heartbroken. You know, I just I can't afford to be heartbroken anymore. I can't afford being depressed anymore. I can't afford to waste time. You know, I got to focus on my things and stay positive and keep moving forward no matter what happens. All right, we got about 13 more minutes that I'm going to do. Yeah, it's quite the experience to fall in love with somebody and it doesn't work out for one reason or the other, and you know you're left heartbroken. It's not not the best feeling in the world, you know, not the best feeling in the world. But like they say, time does heal all things. It took a lot of time for me to heal all the cracks in my heart. You know, I find myself this year in a really good place. Did some shadow work and whatnot, and working on myself and focusing on myself, and you know, it helps. It helps heal. Abundance is a good one. Abundance, abundance. I'm gonna flip the camera over so we can read it together. Abundance. Congratulations! It seems you're due for, what does that say? An infinitely big piece of abundance pie. Feels like you don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already planted and you're ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it? Shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve everyone, so get your whipped cream ready unless you're lactose intolerant and enjoy your well deserved metaphorical dessert. Abundance. You know, you have four, you say, this is what Krishna says. He says, I have only four things in my life: my parents, my grandfather, you, and my loneliness. Yeah, a lot of people struggle with loneliness. You know, I've struggled with it for sure. You learn to deal with it. Eventually, you learn that you're not alone. You know, you're not. You're never really alone. You know, you're. It's just it's a concept that we build around ourselves. You know, but truly, you're never really alone. Plus, if you believe in God, you know God's always going to be there for you, no matter what. He's always going to be there for you. Okay, about 10 more minutes. I'm going to wrap up the live. So, Krishna, as always, I appreciate you joining me. You know, we've been talking for so long. You know, we got a real brotherhood going on. So I appreciate that. Cause yeah, it's you're right, Krishna. You know, if we didn't have each other, sometimes to just talk and chill, I would feel a little bit more lonelier in life. I would. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky I got you in my life. I'm lucky that I got my family. Like you said, I have my parents. I got my brother. You know, I got a few friends that I can rely on here and there. You know, that's about it. That's about it. Let's see what cards show up. Oh, this one wants to play. Don't take it personally. Like a duck wearing a waterproof thing. Looks like it's raining little pebbles on him. All right, let's flip the camera and see what it says. Don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's possibly it. It's true. Everybody in the world has something going on, you know, and sometimes those people have so much going on that they're not in the best mood, and they treat others, you know, with a lot of disrespect according to their mood. And it happens, you know, and you just got to remember there's people out there going through a lot. There's a lot of people who are suffering tremendously, and they don't their hearts are not in peace. A lot of bad things have happened in their lives, and they're struggling, you know, to find peace. And when we come across those kinds of people, we just got to remind ourselves that everyone is suffering. Everybody's going through something, and they lash out because they're suffering, because they're going through something. And we just got to realize, once we realize that, we just realize we're not going to let people, you know, affect our own mood. We're not going to get angry. We're not going to let them, you know, tell us how to live our lives. You know, I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to react. You know, I'm going to keep doing my thing. That's how you stay in control. You know, that's how you stay in control. Let's do a little. Oh, this one wants to come out and play. It fell to the ground. Everyone's a teacher. Everyone's a teacher. There's a rhino teaching a little mouse, or the other way around, maybe. The mouse is teaching the rhino. Let's. I'm going to flip the camera over so we can read it together. Everyone's a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the hard lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today, I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part in making me a better person. There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. What does Krishna say? Krishna says, 2 days ago, my grandfather would be like, don't care about world, focus on your cricket, fuck the world. He's Superman for me. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. It's so important to have a grandfather in your life who's got some wisdom to share with you. But it's true, you know. Sometimes we get across people that want to hurt us and treat us like they're just the biggest a-holes, and they want to treat us less than, and or for whatever reason they don't want to work with us or make our lives a little harder. But you realize that, you know, those come with lessons. You know, even like this girl I was seeing, and I thought she could be the one, and it turns out it's not. And it turns out she's been like, playing with me and just not treating me right and just seeing other people behind my back and whatnot. And so you learn a lesson. The lesson is that she's not the one, and I learned that there's nothing you can do to, you know, change someone's mind about you can't control somebody else, and how they want to live their lives. So, I learned not to be, if someone doesn't take me seriously, I learned to walk away. Sometimes it's not an easy thing to do, but you learn to walk away, you learn to keep your self-respect intact. You learn that, like I said, you're not going to waste your time with people who don't take you seriously, who don't appreciate the little things you do for them, and you learn, you learn to respect yourself. And like I said, you just learn to walk away from people that don't treat you right. And sometimes that's hard to do because sometimes we love this person, and so it can be a little heartbreaking. But you know, there's always a lesson somewhere. Everybody around the world has something to teach us. Even the bad guys in our lives will teach us that we have inner strength. We have capabilities to surpass whatever bullshit they put on us, whatever rumors they spread about us, whatever they do to try to hurt us in our career. You find that in due time, you have the strength to surpass all the bullshit. So, in a lot of ways, all the a-holes teach us lessons. All right, I got about 4 minutes and I'm going to wrap up the live. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. Krishna, my own street light. Um, let's see what, probably be able to pull out 2 more cards before we wrap up. This one wants to come out and play. This one is unlimited potential. Unlimited potential. And I'll flip the camera over, put the card down so we can read it together. Let's see what it says. Unlimited potential. I choose to live a life of my fullest potential. I trust that this will draw me towards experiences and people that support my growth and accomplishment. Turning into this frequency, I now reach higher heights than I ever thought possible. Knowing that's an option, why would I have ever turned into anything else? I'm looking at you, smooth jazz and talk radio. That's funny. Little giraffe sticking his head out of the clouds. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Once we, it's true what they say. This is scientifically proven, even, um, or acknowledged, that we put out frequencies. We're like radio antennas and radio receivers. The thoughts we think attract what we want in life. So if we're thinking negative about ourselves, if we think people don't like us, if we, this and that, that's what we attract in life. But if you switch your thinking and you switch out the frequency you put out there, and you're broadcasting, I love myself, I respect others, I'm looking for friendships, I'm looking to build things, I'm looking to, you know, you start putting it out there, there's going to be certain people that are receiving that frequency you're putting out there, and and you're going to start attracting, the same kind of people that think like you, whether good or bad. You're going to attract the kinds of people that you're tuning in to your mind. So in a lot of ways, we don't live privately, because if you think about it, our thoughts manifest our lives, right? In certain aspects. So if we're thinking so negative about ourselves, we're going to start attracting all the negativity to us. We start thinking positive, we're going to start attracting all the positivity to us. So, so keep that in mind. We're like walking, talking radio frequency, antennas and receivers. We emit signals and we receive signals. All right, let's do one last one for the day. I hope these positive affirmations and messages and little bits of wisdom that I've even surprised myself with will help you along your journey. Always great to have your friendship, Krishna. My own, always welcome. Always appreciate your insights and wisdom as well. We're like a little tiny little brotherhood on the internet. We just all randomly met. So glad that we stick together. All right, one more card. Let's see which card wants to come out and play. One more card for what's the best? The best one. The best one to end this live. Let's see. This one. Not this one. Patience. Patience. This is the last one we're going to deal with today. Patience. I'm going to put the card down. I'm going to flip the camera, and we can read it together. Congratulations, you've been granted more patience. You may start using it right away or much, much later. Waiting a long time is the sort of option now afforded to you by greater patience. Can you believe it? Look at this. You're still reading and you haven't started getting annoyed yet. Imagine how this patience will transform your life. Imagine how easy it will be to go to the post office. Funny. Yeah, patience is what do they say? Is a virtue, right? Is that what they say? Um, Patience will get you a long way. People definitely appreciate those who can wait things out, and don't get nervous or flustered or agitated and they start acting out. Like people, sometimes it takes people to do things. Sometimes it takes time for things to come in. So having patience, our patience will be tested. So for example, I'll give you a good example of my patience being tested. um, I get this medicine every 2 weeks that I need to take, and I went to the pharmacy and they kept there's always a problem with the computer, or they were out, or this or that, and it took them a week and a half to get them my medicine, and it was really frustrating. I never lost my cool. I was always courteous, and I've always said, okay, I understand. And I just asked questions. I tried to help them out. So there was times where they would say things you know, like for example, they would be like, "Well, there's numbers. The doctor sent in numbers, and it doesn't match the numbers we have here." So I would scratch my head, and then I would go to the doctor and be like, "Hey, this is what they said." And the doctor goes, "No, all the numbers are the same, and we haven't changed anything." So I'd go back to the pharmacy and I explain to them that the doctor said there's nothing that's been changed. So never did I lose my cool. Never did I blame or yell at somebody. Sometimes life just has roadblocks, and it took a week and a half longer than the usual to get my medicine. And the thing is, like, I rely on that medicine to have like a normal life, to be healthy. And a week and a half really set me back. It really put a dent in my health, and I never lost my patience, even though my health was in their hands. I never freaked out. I was very patient. It was affecting my health, but I still was patient and just was understanding. And I had my inner strength to get me through that week and a half without my medicine. And it was tough. It was really tough. But like I said, I never lost my cool, never lost my patience, and I was just polite, respectful. Like I said, I even helped them out by me trying to figure out what was wrong. I drove to the doctor and drove back, and there were so many errors on their behalf that I had to correct for them. But I did it respectfully. I wasn't telling them or yelling at them, or I'm saying, I wasn't like being demanding. I was just in a polite manner trying to figure out what was going on, and I was just trying to fix the miscommunications that were happening. And there was a lot. It was crazy. But eventually I was able to get to the bottom of it and was able to resolve the issue and got my medicine. Even though it was a week and a half later, and it did affect my health in a negative way, I was grateful. at the end of this roadblock, after going through that struggle and it affecting my health in a negative manner, I was grateful that I finally got my medicine. I was grateful and I was happy and I thanked them. I wasn't like trying to be like point my finger at them and say, see, this is how you do it. I wasn't trying to belittle them or anything. I just said, look, great job. Thank you for correcting all these things and getting it done, and you know, I appreciate it. Krishna says, my mom asked me about an Indian girl, and I say I don't like Indian girls. I don't know what to tell you. Travel, travel the world, travel the world, and see what girls you like. You may not like American girls. Uh, they're not. Some of them are very. I don't want to be too judgmental, but they're very like fake, and they're very nasty human beings. They're not very great human beings. Some are the true like women who aren't like destroyed by feminist ideals and like communist ideals and just different. They're gone. Those women are gone. Okay, they're undateable. Um, but I find women in Argentina are pretty damn great. I may end up going to because that's where I was born. I have family there and I visited and stuff. So I may one day go back to Argentina and find me an Argentinian woman because they are fantastic. They're not brainwashed and have a chip on their shoulder about racism, and they don't have white guilt. None of this is all American things. Like this is what America has done to our people. They've given them white guilt. They've gotten some weird communistic and feministic ideals, even godless ideals, and that's just it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All right, my friend Krishna, I salute you. Go out there, kick ass, make the best out of life, stay positive. All the things you want is also looking for you, and one day it'll all come together for you, my friend. I know it. I know it will. So bye bye till now, and we'll see you next time. So have a good one. We'll see you on the next one, Krishna. I salute you, my friend, my brother.